Money in strongman. Is there any of it? What's the prize money like in these big competitions? And who's been winning the most? I'll have that back. Okay.
All jokes aside, this is a really frequently asked question on our channel and a video that people have been asking for a really long time. I was quite surprised actually how much of this information is already in the public domain.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of information out there already, which is good to see. We've spoken about transparency before with athletes being, open about what they're going to do. I think it's important as promoters as well that you put on a show. The prize money is put out there for people to see. Athletes then can either accept or not accept, and they know what they're competing for. On the most part, the prize money is rocketing up in strongman through pretty much all organisations, and we're going to go through what the prize money is for each major competition, where it started out, what it was when I was competing, and who has made the most in the last 12 months. So let's start with the biggest show of them all, World's Strongest Man. Now, when I came fourth at World's Strongest Man, I got $4,500. So that was back in 2011. Let's see how the prize money has increased, because the winning prize money for 2011 was $45,000.
So as you can see on the screen now, we have the prize money for the top 5 positions at the World's Strongest Man. The lowest now being $10,000 for 5th place, $12,500 for 4th, $17,500 for 3rd place, $30,000 for 2nd, and $75,000 for 1st. So I believe with the World's Strongest Man, it was on the rise, then it dipped, and now it's gone back up again.
Yeah, and actually 75 is the biggest it's ever been. That's an increase from last year as well. And we're seeing this across the board at the moment. I think because strongman is growing, the popularity of strongman is growing, we are seeing the prize money increase. And what I like is now the prize money is increasing in the lower positions as well.
Yes.
Maybe not to the level we want, but the sport is on the up, and the biggest show of them all is paying $75,000 for first prize. So let's take a look at the only way to officially qualify for World's Strongest Man, the Giants live shows. Now, these shows have really grown over the last 10 years especially. I remember doing Giants live shows and winning Giants live shows and maybe getting $1 or $2 grand as the winner. These days, for every single Giants live show, the winner walks away with $30,000.
A really important distinction, I think, for Giants Live is that over the course of a 12-month period, they pay by far the most prize money.
Yeah, over the 12-month period, by far, they pay the most money across the board. Obviously, a lot of competitions.
Yeah.
One thing I should point out as well, having experience with all promoters, Giants Live are the fastest at paying athletes.
Yeah, literally. You will travel home on Sunday, the money's in your account on Monday in most cases, so they're very reliable. So 2nd place at a Giants Live gets you $10,000 and 3rd place gets you $5,000. And even coming last these days will earn you what Loz would have earned winning 10 years ago.
The other thing that Giants Live do is they give bonuses for world records. The prizes vary for these. Obviously, it was supposed to be $55,000 for the 505 deadlift. Normally, a little bit less than that for records, but anyone breaking their records does get a bonus purse. So one of the most popular shows on the circuit these days is the Shaw Classic, and the prize money for this has been growing every single year. Brian puts his own purse back into the competition to increase it for all the other athletes, and one of the most impressive things I think about the Shaw Classic is that it might not be the highest paying show, but the drops in terms of each position aren't so big. So rather than maybe having like a $75,000 first prize and then it dropping right down, every single position gets a solid amount of money.
So you can see the prize money on the screen now. Obviously, Trey Mitchell walked away with $38,500. Brian Shaw's money went back into the prize pool. Mitch Hooper took $23,500. Alexi in 4th got $16,000 and Maxime in 5th got $13,000.
And you can see all the way down there, the drops aren't so big.
No.
Everyone's going away with a decent payday.
Yeah. Next then is World's Ultimate Strongman, and obviously they came along first in 2018, and at the time they were paying the most prize money. So I think we can attribute the rise in prize money a lot to these guys and the standard that they set.
Yeah, absolutely. They decided they were going to push the prize money up in the sport. Now, WUS is no more. There's been no competitions in 2022, but we wanted to put them in the list because Alexei Novikov essentially has made a lot of money from this company. And there is talks of shows happening in 2023. So we've put them in for this reason. I believe name changes and organisation changes are happening, but I've been told prize money should be as good as ever.
So we only have the top 3 places in prize money for WUS. Third being $15,000, second $35,000, and first $75,000. So really great prize money at the top. But again, this is one where it's not the most even split across the purse, and there are big
quickly.
drops.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to see some of those lower places just bumped up a little bit, even if it means taking a little bit off the top end. But that's, I was a mid-table kind of as I was coming towards the end of my career. But I do think it's nice for everyone to walk away with a decent amount. Top prize, let's make that 50,000, and then make sure everyone still gets a decent payday, especially when it's a competition where you're away for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So the second biggest prize money ever in Strongman was $80,000 for the winner at the Arnold Classic this year's competition, 2022. $25,000 for second place, so a big drop. However, Arnold donated an extra $55,000 as Alexei Novikov had a campaign to help the Ukrainian people at the time, and Arnold donated an extra $55,000. So first and second went away with $80,000.
So as you can see on the screen, even though Luke Stoltman and Bobby Thompson tied for third place, they both walked away with third place money, which I think is nice, $20,000 each. Then fifth place got $13,000, sixth place walked away with $8,000, and then it goes 7, 7, 5, and 3.
The Arnold Classic really been one of those competitions we've seen that steady increase. The first ever Arnold's back in 2002, the winner got $10,000.
And a Hummer.
And a Hummer. They kind of gave away the Hummer for a few years, and then suddenly the prize money was bumped up to about $40,000, then $45,000. It just steadily grew. Went up to $60,000, got up to $70,000, $72,000 for a few years, and this year it's been $80,000. So how long until the Arnold is paying 6 figures to the winner? Now, talking 6 figures, we do have a 6-figure strongman competition. The Rogue Invitational 2021 blew the prize money purse out the window. It offered $133,000 for the winner. Martin Zalisis enjoyed that competition. It was a comeback competition, and it was by far the biggest prize purse in strongman history. There are rumours that this year's prize purse for the Rogue is going to be even greater. But Lizzie, quickly go through last year's prizes for the Rogue Invitational.
In second place, you had Tom Stoltman with $66,000. Now that is an incredible payday. Third place will get you $40,000. Then it's a bigger drop off the podium. Mateusz got $13,000 for fourth place, and JF Caron got $10,000 for fifth place. But last place at the Rogue Invitational earned Jerry Pritchett $4,000.
So good solid payments throughout the competition. I do feel you need to reward that winner. The winner is what they're all fighting for, and it's going to be a big drop. But it's then those big significant drops after that which are more detrimental, I feel, to athletes, because then they don't have the incentive to keep fighting deep into a competition. So sometimes I think if they've got that incentive to keep working hard, even if it is an extra $1,000, for a lot of guys they will keep fighting for those points. Now there's a lot of other competitions that go on, some with not bad prize money, some with very poor prize money, to be quite honest, but the sport on the whole is growing, and an area that it's really starting to grow now is the lighter weight categories and the women's categories. Now, previously, these categories really made no money at all. Most of these athletes would be competing for a plastic trophy. Now, thanks to organisations like Clash and the growth of the women's sport in general, we are seeing better opportunities. Clash on the coast this year for the under 105s, the winner walked away with $10,000, and the women's under 82 kilo class at Clash walked away with $12,000. Now, if you think that is more than I won for winning Europe's Strongest Man back in 2016. So it's great to see it's not just the heavyweights that are getting more prize money. I know lots of the athletes complain, saying, we should be getting as much as the heavyweights. The whole sport has to grow to allow that financial improvement for everyone. Yeah,
absolutely. And for those wondering, why did the women get paid more than the men? I believe it was because different companies sponsored the two different competitions, and the one who wanted to sponsor the women's competition was offering more money, and it's as simple as that.
One of the exciting things for the women is I believe Rogue are starting to look at the women's side of things and maybe involved in the Arnold's next year with the women's competition, and that could really help the women's side boom in prize money and popularity. So the big question is, who's earned the most money in the last 12 months?
Novikov.
Well, if we included the 2021 WUS shows, yes, Novikov would have earned the most. But I've not included those because there's been no WUS competitions this year.
Okay.
So I've gone from the Rogue Invitational last year, which is essentially the next really big show that we're going to have. Obviously, Martins Liss is winning that show, winning $133,000. That was a pretty hefty payday.
Yeah.
He then went on to win the Arnold Strongman Classic, which was another $80,000, and he came second at World's Strongest Man. So Martins, in just 3 competitions, has won just shy of $250,000.
That's such a world apart from even 4 years ago.
Oh, without question. I mean, it's for an athlete to earn anywhere near that type of money, you would need to be as Zadrunas competing week on week. And I still don't think Zadrunas would have won that much prize money in some of his best years.
No.
Lissis managed to do that in 3 competitions. I know compared to other sports, it's still nothing. But for strongman, that is huge growth, and hopefully we can continue to see that growth.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, and we're all guilty of it, us included, because our lives kind of revolve around strongman, we forget how niche it is sometimes, because for us, it's the sport. Come on, it's by far the coolest sport. I don't know why it's
They should be getting millions. So, second biggest earner is Novikov. Novikov just competes like a machine, and he does very well in many shows. He's won a number of Giants Live shows, been second in some of the biggest shows. Like you said, he did win the WUS competitions, and if we included them,
WUS competitions, 150 grand from WUS last year alone.
Yeah, if we included those, he would be at number 1. Like I said, because there was none of those this year, I've not included them, but you can, by all means, if you want to go with Liz's theory, Alexei Novikov can indeed be number 1. But without that 150 grand, he still has won $218,000.
Nice.
And then we have Tom Stoltman at $148,000. Tom Stoltman obviously winning World's Strongest Man. He was second at the Rogue Invitational. He won Britain's Strongest Man. Now, Britain's Strongest Man is a Giants Live show and paid the same as any Giants Live show.
Oh, is it? I thought it would be less.
$30,000 for the winner of Britain's Strongest Man. That is by far
the highest paying national competition.
Other than Bahrain.
Oh, yeah, wow. Come on, it's the UAE, isn't it?
But for most national level shows, that is by far the most. And Giants Live pay the same throughout all their shows. So we have a big drop off. The next biggest earner is Trey Mitchell at $53,000. That is not including Trey's win at the Shore Classic last year. It's just including this year's Shore Classic.
Arnold
53, Arnold's,
Worlds and
World's Strongest Man, the Arnolds, etc., etc. But Trey Mitchell with $53,000. Then we have Brian Shaw at $45,000, but Brian did give back $20,000 of that into the prize pot for the Shore Classic. And then we have Luke Stoltman at $45,000. So big drop still, you know. And if you think how many guys we see as incredible athletes, there's not that many winning life-changing or certainly even amounts of money that you can sustain a living off.
Some strongmen are such good entrepreneurs and have found so many different ways to make money through social media and sponsorships and doing all manners of
guys
things.
like Brian Shaw, guys like Eddie Hall, Hathor Bjornsson, the Stoltmans, they've done very, very well in marketing themselves and building a brand. And I think for anyone that's up and coming in the sport, that is the way to make money. Do not try to make a living off prize money. Prize money should be a bonus. You know, if you do well in a competition, you get a nice payday, fantastic. But trying to make yourself marketable, building that brand, that is the way to do strongman professionally. Be funny and entertaining, be informative, but don't rely on just winning prize money.
It takes the joy out of it, because there was a point in your career when that's what you were doing. A couple of sponsors, but other than that, prize money was what you relied on. And it really, it makes an injury so much harder to cope with when that's your loss of earnings as well as your body and everything else that goes on.
And that's why it's good to see these different opportunities that athletes have now. You know, the sponsors are much better in the sport.
They don't have to kill themselves.
There's the social media elements. Yeah, they don't have to kill themselves week in, week out. They can be selective. They can compete in these big shows, earn a decent payday, build their brands, and let's hope that the sport continues on that trajectory and we do start seeing $250,000 first prizes, maybe $500,000 first prizes. I'm a darts fan and it's £500,000 for the winner of the World Darts Championships.
We should get into darts.
I want to see that for Strongman. I'm sure lots of you guys do too. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as always, let us know your thoughts, guys. Take care.